Better? How how loud it be now?
Who are we? What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us. But its
I don't know if
immaculate
it's too
aspect
close to
might
14.
reveal
He's not
itself.
really close to 14.
The icon.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Looks like Squall.
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Reminds me of
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
I don't like 15 though. But you can't judge by these because remember when they showed FF13 in the gameplay? This might be gameplay, I don't know.
The dominants.
You know.
That we may bring an end to the strife. And found a
Bonk.
new order
They had to
see
show
us
something
unto
like that, huh?
tomorrow.
If I take the field, our duel will shake the island to its foundations.
Oh, that's Shiva's really pretty. Pretty Shiva. Whee! Phoenix! This looks like a versus battle game for summons.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
The Empire. That's all they needed to say for me to be like, nope.
Awaken, child of fate. Awaken, Ifrit.
Uh, I don't know what to say. Okay, so here's the thing. It looks good, but this is a. I usually am very good at getting tones from games. Like if you showed me FF15 and World of Final Fantasy, I jumped on World of Final Fantasy and I skipped 15, which I don't regret. It's not that it doesn't look good. It does, and it's the team from FF14, so I imagine that the story's gonna be good. What I'm concerned about is obviously they're gonna fix the UI, but it's more the setting, right? Like I don't want to go to a place I've been before. And so we've been in done 15, and so I get that this isn't the same and the summons are really cool and stuff. But like my concern is like I definitely need to see more. I don't know. For me it just sort of feels like older Final Fantasies had very, very distinct styles. So like FF7 was completely different from 8, which is completely different from 9, which is completely different from 10. So like each world generally tends to have a different style. This last generation, excluding FF13, like 15 and 14 and 16, a lot of these feel a little like I don't want to say they sort of feel darker, and that's not a bad thing. Yeah, I think most. I don't think it would. I think this would beat 15 for sure. But um, Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was like this magical charm, and I don't mind a more serious FF, but when they try to do more serious, they often like flub it, like, or they try to give you like a really sad, depressing ending, and it's like I don't want bad endings anymore. Like I get it. I get like this trend of like FF15, The Last of Us 2. Like I get all these like trying to teach a lesson and art mediums and trying to, be more serious. But for me, it's like I life beats you up enough and I don't really want to pursue that in my games. You know what I mean? Like I don't have reason enough to put myself in a position where um games try to be too serious, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait and see as well. Um, I will say that the summons are amazing and that the fights are pretty cool. But if it's just like I don't know. Sometimes the trailers can be misleading because the mechanics they show off there are not always the mechanics that we end up with. Like I said, if you watch the very first original Final Fantasy 13 trailer, it had the same syndrome of like showing off gameplay, which was not actual gameplay. Um, eh, so I don't know. I'm just being a little, you know. Yeah, why do they market to us like we don't think, like we're not funny?
It
Like we don't think
wears
things
away
are
at
funny.
our very being. It breaks
I
us.
mean, but like here's the
It
thing too,
unmakes
though,
us.
too. Is obviously
At
Gerudo,
its
Ifrit, and all them are
immaculate
styled after
aspect
14.
might
Like it's
reveal
very
itself.
obvious. You know what I mean?
The icon.
It just I don't know. It's just we did 15, and Lunafreya was
There's
supposed to
going
be
to be another
the
war,
summoner.
isn't there?
We must move now.
Into the abyss.
And found a new.
It just looks like this would have been better spent being a Final Fantasy 9 remake. Is how this looks to me. Like this medieval time frame. It just feels like this would have been more appropriate for something like that for FF9. Well, we'll never know, right? Because it just feels too I don't know, out of place. Usually there's like this charm for Final Fantasy and I just don't see the charm. I see the cool actiony awesomeness, like it's pretty stunning, but I just if we did it this way with this style, we'll just do more 14. I don't like main entry title needs to be different enough for me to be like, yeah, it's different enough. Just because we like Final Fantasy 14 does not mean we need more Final Fantasy 14 under the name or the guise of FF16. Yeah, I know. Like they all have a summon attached to them, right? Like I get it, and that they're like the chosen. But like that's no different than being like one of the four warriors of light chosen by a crystal. The concept is basically a summon instead of a crystal, right? So like there isn't that much more of a difference. Like it's not so assigning a specific summon is like if you had a permanent junction in FF8 or if you had a certain you could only use a certain, you know what I mean? Like it's not anything unique enough for me. It sort of is like, okay, I've assigned you a specific thing just so we can avoid that you're able to customize. Like assigning somebody a certain role, unless a part of a game mechanic is like a easy way to be like, hey, you're stuck with this thing in the entire game, and here's your lack of customization because you don't have to change anything because you're Ifrit the whole entire time. So like that's why I have to see more because generally when you come with like static characteristics of like a party member, your customization goes out the window. And then and then what if I really like Shiva, but I hate the person it's attached to, right? So then I'm never gonna use this super cool summon Shiva that I really, really think is gorgeous looking because that lady that she's attached to is like a real jerk. You know what I'm saying? Like when you pair people up, you can't have one without the other. And if that's how that mechanic works, then it's gonna be annoying for me because it's like, great, really cool summon I can never use because the person that's attached to it is horrible. You know, like I won't be invested in certain people, and then I don't know. It just is a slippery slope. I don't know how I feel at first glance.